Hello, my beautiful community. I hope they are all doing good. I hope they are all doing fine. So, it's a new day, a new page, and a new episode. In today's episode, I'm very honored that a person who taught me so many lessons joined us today. I call him my big brother. Today, I'm with Hussain Amiri from Bahrain, known as Pilo. This man used his voice as a tool to transmit his message and leave a legacy behind him in this world, and help people to be the best version of themselves by sharing his knowledge and his experiences. So let's welcome together Hussein Amir.
Yeah.
Welcome to the podcast. It's a big pleasure again for me. And let's start by a quick introduction. So
Okay.
who is Hussein Amiri? How can you
Who,
introduce yourself?
on a personal level, or
It's you have the free choice.
okay. Well, I like to always say that Hussein Amiri is a is very simple yet complicated.
Mm,
Okay, I like simplicity. I'm a very simple person, very straightforward. Everything's either black or white. I don't like any complications or materialistic things in life. That's pretty much me in a nutshell, I guess. I guess so. But I'm complicated in the sense that I I still don't understand myself or the world that I live in. So I guess I'm on a journey, as everyone else, to uh, to find myself and find what this world is all about.
interesting, interesting.
Yeah.
Your answer is so deep, actually. And it's so deep, and I guess that's an answer for anyone who is in a journey of for finding himself.
Yeah, I mean, we all are. We all
Yes,
are on a journey. We
yes,
all
of
are trying
course.
to find ourselves, but there's a difference. The difference is whether we're sitting on our seat or jogging on our spots and not doing anything about it, or if we are actually seeking to find who we are. This is a difference, I think.
Exactly, exactly. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So you said that you are simple, but you are complicated.
Yes.
I want you to tell me what does it mean, Pyro? Because your name on Instagram is Pyro. So why did
Yes.
you choose what is Pyro in the beginning, and why did
Okay.
you choose this name?
Okay. That's a great question because it's directly connected with my previous answer. Pilo is basically a brand that I'm trying to create, not for the sake of creating a brand like many people around who are just following trends and trying to do something. I actually have a lot planned behind this brand. Pilo is actually an abbreviation. It's PYLO, and that stands for Put Your Lights On.
Interesting.
Okay. Yes, and Put Your Lights On is not just a phrase or a motto. No, it relates to every single individual, regardless what age group, regardless what nationality, beliefs, whatever. As long as you are a moving human being, then putting your lights on is mental, it's spiritual, it's on every level, you know? You just need to, that's what I try to do with my own content.
Mm,
Just try to have people put their lights on in the sense of switching on that that tolerance, tolerating one another, coexisting with one another, seeking knowledge, seeking diversity, not just being settled with what we have or cocooned in our own extreme views and just be like, okay, I am who I am. I belong to this sect or group of people, or I fall under this umbrella. That's it. Now we need to break out of that cocoon. We need to put our lights on and understand how every single other human being is living and learn from that and appreciate it and respect it most of all. So that's pretty much what Put Your Lights On is all about. And funny enough, I actually got that phrase from a song when I was
Wow.
much younger. I used to really like an artist, if you're familiar with, called Santana, and Santana has a song featuring a singer called Everlast, and it's called "Put Your Lights On," and I advise you to listen to it and listen to the lyrics very closely. It's beautiful, and that's where it actually started.
How beautiful! How beautiful is your answer. And here I can make a deduction of an example that you can find um, kind of your purpose, and this is
Yeah,
something so much deep.
yeah. We try at times to find certain things, let's say inspirations, or try to find ourselves, or the little pieces of puzzles or jigsaws that complete that full picture for
Mhm.
us to move towards. But a lot of the times, even if we try, we tend to look in the wrong places. We try too
Yes,
hard, but at times
yes.
you get these inspirations from like out of nowhere,
The
you
simple
know
things, the simple
the
things. You can,
simple things.
yeah, you can just see a picture and that picture inspires you, and then you maybe write something about it, and then you discover that you love writing.
Exactly,
It's it's
exactly.
it's just like that connected. And if I can ask you another question is,
Yes.
how was your childhood? How did you live that those
My
times?
childhood or those
Yeah,
teenage years?
childhood, teenage.
Um, Once again, very simple. I think the yet complicated that came at a later age when I after adulthood, I'm like, okay, now I can see the complicated side of life. But
Yes.
my entire life was, yes, Hussain Amiri is very simple. I was a very quiet, shy, obedient, polite little kid. I never caused any problems. Um, I was I wasn't exactly the best when it came to school, um, because I was never a fan
School.
of studying.
Oh,
To be
school.
very honest with
Studying.
you, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I always had good grades, and I was a very smart kid, to be honest with you. But I just didn't find any interest in studying. I think maybe I saw that somehow. Maybe I saw that the
You
things
have.
that I was studying in school were not going to really do much for me when I grow up.
Mm, yes,
I
yes,
was a bit
yes.
rebellious in that department,
Mm, yes.
I guess. But other than that, no, I had a very simple childhood. I'm very close to my family, very close to my two sisters, my cousins. I grew up with a very close and very warm and passionate family and group of friends who still are my family and friends to this day. Yeah, very, very simple and nothing like
Um,
nothing over the top at all.
Amazing. So I have another question.
Sure.
What were the challenges you faced growing up? You said that it was simple, but
Yeah.
um, did you find challenges, and how did you overcome them?
I think every kid faces challenges because, let's say, from between the ages of maybe 6, 7, all the
Mm,
way until you graduate high school around 18. Okay. You're
Yeah.
learning everything about life. You're opening your eyes to things that you never saw, things that you never knew. You know, trying to differentiate between things that you're supposed to do and say, and things that you're not supposed to do and say, and choose when to do and when to say. It's just a very crucial phase in life. So I think everyone has those challenges at that age, but uh, I don't think I had many challenges. I think maybe the challenges were more of privileges, I would say.
Mm.
If we stop looking at things as challenges and look at them in a positive way and look at them as privileges and opportunities, then we get to see life in a whole different perspective. You know, for example,
Yes.
um, my culture, okay, coming from a Persian background, okay, and studying in a school, in a very diverse school with a lot of British and European and kids from all over the world, and then going back home, growing up in a neighborhood where is I can say middle class all the way down to poor, looking at how everyone is trying to struggle and hustle and learn and this and that in different ways, growing up with people of different, let's say, social classes. You know,
Yes.
I
Yes.
kind of had that challenge of, or challenging myself, how would I be able to cope and fit in with everyone? How can I live and get along with people regardless what social class they belong to, what age group, what background or religion or whatever it may be. I think that maybe was the challenge, but it was me challenging myself. But the big picture, I think it was a privilege, and it shaped me to be the person that I am today.
Yes, and you mentioned a very strong point, which is challenges are just privilege that will help us and that will shape us
Of
in
course.
in the sort. And sometimes we don't realize that at those moments, but once we overcome
Yeah.
those challenges or those
Yes.
privileges,
Yeah.
we really discover that those were the reason why we are here now, and
Of course.
why we are a better version of the version we were.
Of course, because kids are like
Yeah,
clay. You know, you're
yeah,
like clay. You
yeah,
you your family, which is the foundation, and let's say the environment you grow up in, whether it's at home or the neighborhood or school, and these kind of things, they kind of shape that clay into what you will turn out to be. But we have a huge role in deciding what route we
of
want to take.
course,
Yeah.
yes. And we have to be aware that we have a big part of responsibility. Being in a family
Yeah.
that doesn't support you, that doesn't mean that you are a victim. You put yourself in a victim mindset. You have the full responsibility to build your life.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. I mean, look at the most successful people in history.
Yes,
They were
yes,
always people who, most of the time, as kids, were either left out or not
yes,
accepted in certain groups or didn't have an amazing childhood or grew up poor. They're hustlers. You know, you don't find comfortable people a lot of times. I don't want to paint everyone with the same brush, but you can. It's very rare for you to find a comfortable upbringing
yes,
to turn out into Gandhi. You know what I mean?
yes.
It's difficult, but yeah, it's still interesting. It's still interesting to look around and see how everyone else lives their life, I guess.
Amazing. Thank you. The next question is, what is your passion? What is the thing that you are passionate about?
Uh, that's a very It's a very broad question. Passion in life, like what I want in life or
How
my
can you,
career or
when you hear this question, what
yeah,
came the first thing? What's the first thing that came to your mind?
family.
Amazing.
Yes, family. I mean, yes, I'm passionate about my career. I'm passionate about achieving many goals and milestones. I've got tons of things I want to do before I leave this life. But I think the number one passion is to like make sure that my family, my parents, my sister are okay. Make sure that my wife is okay. Make sure that me and my wife raise the most amazing kids and give them the happiest times of their lives. That's the most thing I'm excited about every day when I wake up.
It's amazing. I was this was one question I was going to ask you, which is
Yeah,
what excites you the most when you wake up in the morning? And
yeah. I mean,
an
when I
amazing
wake up,
answer. Yeah.
I'm like, okay, every day life is gonna throw
Challenges.
asteroids and
Yeah.
bricks and stones and thorns and everything your way. You know, so it's really important that when you wake up, you're happy regardless how much money you have in the bank, regardless what car you drive, where you live. Just waking up and knowing that, okay, like I'm ready. What's going to happen? What's the worst thing that's going to happen? Let me get through this. I'm excited to get through this because whatever I hustle for and whatever I learn, I want to pass on to my kids. I want to be the go to person. Me and my wife, we want to be the go to people when it comes to our kids having questions or doubts or problems or anything, you know?
Inshallah, inshallah,
Inshallah.
inshallah. Let's talk now about voiceover.
Sure.
Okay. So what does voiceover means to you?
Uh, Voiceovers. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I'll try to put it in a short story form. Okay.
Of course.
Um, Basically, I've been told for many many years, saying you have a radio announcer kind of voice, so you
And
should do something about it. So I've been
yes.
told for over 10, 12, 15 years, God knows. I've been told for many years. I only started 2019, a year and a half ago.
Wow.
Yes, I recently started, and uh, a couple of reasons to why I started was I finally found a a comfort zone. I've tried many different passions and hobbies and interests throughout my years, and I either failed or didn't do as good as I expected, or came to find out that there's not much of a solid future for me to build a family, let's say, or
Yes.
much of excitement as well. A lot of the things I had in mind also had age limits, you know. But with voiceovers, I can do it all the way until I'm on my deathbed. You know, there's no age. There's no
Yes.
age for it. So I was like, okay, this is going to be fun. I'm going to enjoy this, which is the most important thing for you to enjoy what you do. So I'm like, okay, let me start. What's the worst thing that could happen? And when I started, I saw that um, the market has potential for me in there. There's a little piece of the cake for me as well, you know, because we shouldn't be greedy. I always say this, Silwan, it's a big piece of cake and we all have a slice. Let's not be greedy. Let's not take each other's slices. We all have a slice. Let's stick to our own and enjoy it, you know? So,
Yes.
and help the others with their slices, you know? Just try to support one another. So, anyways, before I start drifting away, um, when I saw that people in the market, especially in where I come from here in Bahrain, it's a very small country and a very small market, very competitive, but very small. So your voice travels real quick. And by voice here, I mean your name, your status, your network, people knowing you, and all of that. your reputation. People get to know you instantly. It's a very small place. Okay. So I'm like, okay, if the market is this small, the country is this small, and people accept my voice on their ears, they're happy listening to me on a commercial, on a documentary, on an announcement, on this, and that. I'm like, all right, now I found myself a channel. I found a route for me to leave a legacy behind before I'm gone. I need to leave a legacy behind for people to understand what message I had as a human being on this earth, which that thought gave birth to Pilo. Okay. And why I'm telling you all of this is because when you ask me what voiceovers mean to me, this is what it means to me. It's the channel, the tool, the weapon that I've chosen to use for me to leave my legacy behind. Maybe some people use it through sports, some people use it through music, through writing, art, motivational speaking, this, that. I'm like, okay, since apparently the voice is something that I'm associated with and people like my voice, let me use my voice to send my messages across. I'm not just going to sit on my spot and do commercials for the rest of my life. Since people like my voice, let them hear what I have to say with that voice. So voiceovers mean a lot to me because it allows me to project what I actually have as a message, and what I want to leave behind.
Amazing. Everything is connected between Philo and voiceover. Uh,
100%.
voiceovering is like the tool to transmit Philo. That's it. That
Absolutely,
and
absolutely. I mean, I enjoy the commercials, and it's a lot of fun. You meet new people, you make a little money on the side. Like from every angle, it's amazing. Even the stressful hours of working day and night and doing this, and that, I love it because, in end of the day, there's a very rewarding feeling. You know.
yes, yes, and how do you define this year? You told me that you just started on 2019. How do you
Yeah.
define this path?
Since I started until today,
Yes, yes.
um, I still don't have a judgment. It's too early, but so far it's been very interesting. I The most thing I've loved about the journey so far is the new friends that I've made and new people that I've met, such as yourself as well. It's amazing. Like, if I had not gotten into this, I wouldn't have a friend today called Salwan from Algeria, for example. You know what I mean? It's something as well that I cherish very much. And these are the things that I look at. I don't look at, oh, let me bombard the market. Let me do this. I want to be number one. I don't care about that. I honestly do not care. Um,
Yes,
it's the little things, you know?
yes, and I'm so happy that I discovered you and I found your account and really, really, from the first moment I heard one of your videos, I was impressed.
Thank you so
Really, you
Thank
have
you so much.
such a strong voice,
Thank you.
and my pleasure.
You said, I'm very sorry, but you said I have a strong
Yeah.
voice and that you were impressed and all of that the first moment. Just allow me to say one thing. If I have a strong voice and you were impressed by one voiceover of mine, okay, you, my friend, especially for your age, you have something that's even stronger than a voice. Okay, you have a very, mashallah, a very strong personality. And since the day I got to cross paths with you and Hudayfa, I'm like, I love these guys. These guys are like my little sister and my little brother. I don't even know them, but I honestly admire how mature you are, how strong you are and everything that you're doing. So always keep that in mind. And I always talk about you guys. Like I sincerely admire you.
Thank you so much. It's a big pleasure for me. Wallah. It's a big pleasure for me. Thank you.
Just being
Uh,
honest.
uh, so
So
another question. Do you have
mhm,
regrets that you didn't start earlier? Because you have been told that you have
mhm.
that power, you have that energy, but you didn't take that first step. So do you have regret concerning this?
Do you believe in star signs like zodiac signs, abraj?
Actually, I don't have a big knowledge about that.
I don't either, but do you believe that these things are real?
I don't know, because I don't
Okay.
know what's the reason behind it or how everything is structured.
Okay. You know why I'm asking you this question?
Yeah.
Because actually, this was something that me and Hassan Sheikh spoke about on his podcast. Me and Hassan are both Scorpios. Okay, Burj Al
Huh?
Aqrab.
Yeah.
And speaking of regrets, we both said the same thing, and many other Scorpios that I know as well. We do not have any regrets, Salwan.
Amazing.
If you ever meet any Scorpio, أي شخص من برج العقرب in your life, ask them, do you have regrets? I guarantee you, on my life, they will tell you never. Yeah, yeah. But
Okay.
anyways, to factually answer your question, no, I don't have any regrets because um, the definition to me is quite weak. It shows a weak side of a person because, firstly, I believe that everything happens for a reason and at the right time when it's supposed to. Everything falls into place when it's supposed to. God always has a plan. Okay, everything
Yes.
happens at the right time. So that's one side of it. Another side is if I regret anything in the past, then it means two things. It means number one, I did not learn from that incident or that situation or that experience because I'm just sitting and just weeping and grieving that, oh, I should have, I should have, I should have. No, no, learn from it and start doing what you should do now. Stop saying I should have, I wish, I wish, I wish. That's not going to do anything. You're just wasting your time and energy grieving over something that was. Talk about what is and what will be. What was is in the past. That's one. And the other is that if I regret anything, it only says that I'm not confident of who I am today. It shows that weakness.
Yes.
I don't have that self-confidence, that self-esteem. But if I don't regret, that means that I've learned and I'm not going to repeat that mistake
Yes.
again. And it also means that I am super confident in who I am today, regardless whether I made a good or bad decision in the past.
Amazing, amazing. It's an amazing answer, and I guess this is the mindset that we have to adapt
Of course.
in order to really fulfill our full potential in this life. Because just knowing and being aware of this fact
Yeah.
that no matter what we lived in the past, it was just an experience, and we have to really take the lesson from it and apply it now. Because if we don't, then we are
Yeah.
just wasting our life.
Exactly. I mean,
Yes.
regrets, a regret is nothing but a distraction. It's a
Yes. Yes.
distraction.
That's
i'm
it.
i'm either distracting myself or fooling myself or just wasting my time. It's a distraction that I
Yes.
don't need. Tell me what's supposed to happen today, tomorrow. I don't care what happened yesterday
Yes.
you
Yes.
know
Amazing. So let me ask you and the last question of this part,
Sure.
which is not the last question, but before the last,
Sure.
where do you see yourself in 5 years? Where do you see Hussein in 5 years?
I have no idea. I have no idea. And I don't like to think about it a lot because I'll set certain expectations that I might not fulfill. So
Okay.
what matters to me is I'm a short term planner in certain things. In certain
Okay.
things, you see, when I said I'm simple yet complicated, I
Yes,
only mean
yes.
that I'm a very contradicting person. I'll tell you. For example, you give me a question and you give me two options of an answer, white or black. I'll tell you both. You know,
Yeah.
there's no gray, but I accept both the white and black. So I don't plan real ahead in everything. But when it comes to where I am, uh, I don't know. My mind is just too busy with today and tomorrow, to be honest with you, and just getting through today and tomorrow and making the best out of it. What happens in 5 years, if I tell you what I want now, and if you ask me the same question tomorrow, there'll be different answers.
Amazing. And do you feel comfortable with this belief that I will just leave today and maybe tomorrow my mind will change? How do you perceive this belief?
What do you mean exactly? Sorry, I didn't
I,
understand, hon.
I mean, the fact that you are short-term planner. You don't
Hmm.
think about what will happen in 5 years. How this makes you feel?
It makes me feel comfortable because why I said that I'm a short planner in certain things and a long term planner in other things is, for example, I don't know where I will be in 5 years, but I know where where I want my kids to be in 20 years.
It's too simple yet too complicated. It's just,
I told you,
just,
I meant it when I told you. I actually meant it. I don't know where I'm gonna be next week, but I already have my kids' future planned in my head.
it's amazing. Inshallah, I'm pretty sure that they will be in an amazing place with such a father.
Thank you so much. Inshallah.
Inshallah.
Inshallah. Yeah.
The last question is
Yeah.
what are the three advice you can give to someone, or let me say the
Ah,
three
okay.
advice you can give to your kids?
To my kids,
Yes.
uh, three pieces of advice to give my kids. Number one is believe in yourself no matter what people tell you. No matter what people tell you, believe in yourself. However, be humble about it. Don't
Yeah.
believe in yourself in a way that you neglect people and put yourself above others. No, there's a balance between humility and confidence. Okay, so believe in yourself always. The second piece of advice would be learn learn from life, like more than books or school. Learn life, understand life, because I I don't discourage studying at all. Studying is amazing, but it's for some and not for everyone.
Yes.
Okay. What's more important is for you to understand life, study life rather than books, because there's no point in studying books and not knowing how to implement it in life. But if you understand life and study life, then that's a big plus. Okay.
For
And
sure.
the third would be coexist. Coexist. They will have to understand the concept of coexisting, respecting and appreciating and loving every person around them, regardless what their skin color is, what age, what belief, what country. That should never be an automatic judgment in my kids' heads. Oh, this person is of this background, therefore they are so and so. This person is of this skin color, therefore. No, they should see everyone the same and coexist with everyone. Because
Yeah.
if you believe in yourself, okay, you have that self confidence and self esteem balanced with humility, that you treat people right, and you study life and understand life, and at the same time coexist with people, people have no choice but to love you and respect you.
Yes, yes. And just by being so authentic and being just yourself.
Exactly, because I mean, I could say, for example, don't lie, don't steal, don't do haram, don't do this, don't
Yeah.
do that. I could say these things, but if you, as my kid, take on board the three things that I just said, the other stuff will automatically happen. You will automatically only go with halal. You will automatically not oppress anyone or take anyone's haqq. You will do all of these things. You won't lie to people. You won't do any of these things. As long as you take these, consider these 3 points and take them on board.
I totally, fully agree with each advice you said, and just by applying those three, is just creating a best person in the society, and that's what we really need
Exactly.
as the next generation.
Of course, all we need is to better our societies. Because if
Yes,
I teach my kids this, you teach your kids this, the guy next door teaches his kids this, the only thing that will happen, the outcome would be a better society in the end.
yes, yes. Now we are going to move to the last concept of this episode, which is the five.
Yeah.
I will ask you five questions, and you are supposed to answer me with one word. Are we
One
okay?
word. Oh my God. I am not good at this. I love talking.
That's
I love talking.
okay. One word or one sentence. Okay, just one
I'll
word
try
or
my
one
best.
sentence. Okay.
Okay.
So
Okay.
the first one. What
Okay. My
is
wife should hear this. She'll tell you this is impossible.
too, too, too simple
Okay.
yet too complicated? Okay.
Yep. Okay. Tell me.
The first question. What is
Mhm.
fear for you?
What is
Fear for you. How do you
the
define
definition of fear, or what am I afraid of?
the definition of fear for you and what are you afraid of? You can summarize it on one sentence, or you can
Okay.
say just what are you afraid of the most?
Okay. I'll answer them in separate questions.
Okay.
Okay? And I'll do my best to make it as short as possible.
Okay.
Okay. Definition of fear. Definition of fear is I don't know. Definition of fear would be, because to me fear is just another emotion, just like happiness.
Mm,
It's an emotion that we're entitled to have.
yeah,
It's natural.
interesting.
It's fine. It's fine to be afraid.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And what's the
And what am I afraid of?
yes?
What am I afraid of? Airplanes.
So we
Yeah.
will not come to Algeria.
I mean, if there's a boat, then sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, the next question is, what is happiness?
What is happiness? Family.
Oh, amazing.
See, one word.
Yes, amazing.
Yeah.
The next question, if you have the power to change one thing in the world, what would
Hmm.
it be?
Cancer.
Uh, if you had a superpower, if you had the choice to choose a superpower, what would you choose?
I always ask this question, but I don't think anyone ever asked me. One superpower.
Yes.
Uh, mm, 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 mm. One superpower would be, uh, you know, there's this thing in Arabic. I forgot what. There's a term in English as well. To be honest, I forgot what it is. But there's this thing called طي المكان.
Like, can you explain
For
more?
example, for me to, in a blink, be
Yeah.
somewhere else, wherever I want,
Oh.
and not be seen, of course. Like, I
Oh.
want to be in certain places and see what's going on without anyone knowing that I'm there.
And can I ask you why do you want this? Why you want
Because
this?
I'm a human being. Human beings are more curious than any other attribute. Yani, I think the strongest attribute in a human being is curiosity. الإنسان
Yes.
فضولي. That's
كتير.
just how we are.
كتير, yes.
So, and I don't like not knowing. It actually bugs me. Like, I want to know everything.
Yeah.
So I'm just too curious. So certain things in mind, I'm like, I want to be there. And like for example, um, I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to give random examples, but I want to be in certain places and see what's going on, just for
Just
the sake of knowing,
just to discover and
just to discover.
to
Yeah,
feed the
yeah,
curiosity. Amazing.
yeah. Because I just need to satisfy my curiosity, and then I can sleep happily at night.
Amazing.
Yeah.
The last question is, what is your favorite quote of all time?
Oh, that's too difficult. Oh, that's too difficult. I have half of them tattooed on me.
Oh,
There's another half. I don't know. There's a lot, Silwan. There's a lot, but I think
the one.
I'll say it in Arabic and then I'll translate it in
Of
English.
course,
Okay, because
you can say it
yeah,
in
it's
any language you want.
it's originally in Arabic. It's actually a quote by Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam, and it is لا تستوحشوا طريق الحق لقلة سالكيه. It
Oh,
means do not fear the path of righteousness
just
because
because.
they're the minority.
Yeah.
I think it. That
It's.
quote
Yeah.
is to me, madrasa. You learn a whole curriculum of academic education and life principles and morals and values only from that quote. To me,
Yes.
it's treasure.
Especially in today's times where like there is القطيع يمكن نقول and
Exactly.
being we have to
Sheep.
yes we
You
have
know how they call people? They actually the best term that I've heard in the past 5 or 6 years is sheeple.
in today's world where every single society is just following, okay, they are following
Yeah.
certain things and finding the ability to be different and to be in the right path no matter what is
Mhm.
is the strongest thing and the strongest ability that we have to just نغرسوها فينا and
And it's the most difficult one because
yes,
valuable things always come very, very hard. It's not easy.
yes,
You know, you have to
yes,
You have to mine to find gold. You have to dig to find diamond. But you can just walk and sand and dirt is all over the place, but people want the
Yes.
easy way out. So they don't want to put any effort and go through through
Yeah.
whatever experience it is to find what's valuable.
Yes, yes, yes. Just following the easy way, even if it's wrong.
Exactly. That's
Yes.
why generation after generation, mankind becomes softer and softer and softer. Because as a another very amazing quote says, tough times makes a tough man.
Yes, for
Okay.
sure.
So if you want to be a tough man, and in this sense, man being like a human being in general, I'm not
Yes.
applying it to the male gender, but in general, if you choose to avoid the tough times and the downs, then life is not rainbows and butterflies, my friend.
Yeah.
You know.
Right. Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for this
Thank
amazing
you.
lesson.
Thank
And
you.
thank you so much for joining today's episode. And thank
Sure.
you for sharing your energy, your thoughts.
Absolutely.
I had the really big honor to invite you today, and the mic is yours. If you want to say anything, the mic is yours.
To end this episode, I want to once again thank you so much for considering me to begin with and inviting me. It's a real honor, and yeah. Also, once again, I want to say that I'm not just saying this because I'm talking to you or because I want to be nice, but I really, really admire your energy and how you're investing your time for a young lady at your age and what you are doing. Like, hats off to you. I really, really respect that, and I don't care what people around you think or say, whether you get the support that you deserve or not. Don't stop. Don't ever stop. And I promise you, we'll have this conversation in 10 years and you will be somewhere very far. I promise you. I know for a fact you're going to be something big.
Inshallah. Inshallah. Thank you.
Inshallah. Inshallah.
Thank you.
And that's all. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much again. And inshallah, we will have another podcast together. Why not?
Anytime. Let me know. And I am honored.
Thank you.